Marcus Hale was a writer, a man known for weaving intricate stories, exploring the depths of human nature, and asking questions about morality and purpose in his novels. At 42 years old, he had achieved considerable success in the literary world, but his heart often felt like a barren field. Though his writing probed the mysteries of existence, Marcus was agnostic at best, dismissing organized religion and spiritual experiences as mere constructs of the imagination. But what Marcus couldn't have predicted was that his greatest story would be one he wouldn't write for publication, one he would live through in the afterlife. The accident. It was a rainy evening in Seattle. Marcus had just left a book signing event and was driving home, his mind preoccupied with a new story he was outlining. The wet streets gleamed under the city lights, and the windshield wipers struggled to keep up with the torrential downpour. Then it happened. A truck swerved into Marcus's lane. He tried to brake, but the slick roads betrayed him. The impact was catastrophic. Marcus's car spun out of control, flipping twice before coming to rest in a mangled heap. Paramedics arrived quickly, but by the time they pulled him from the wreckage, Marcus was gone. Awakening in the afterlife. Marcus awoke to an indescribable sensation. He wasn't in his body anymore, yet he felt more alive than ever. He was in a realm that seemed both infinite and intimate. The surroundings were surreal. A landscape of light and tranquility with colours and sounds that didn't exist on Earth. Before Marcus could comprehend his new reality, he saw a figure approach, clothed in radiant white and exuding a presence of infinite love and authority. It was Jesus Christ. Marcus instinctively knew who he was, though he had never believed in him during his life. Overwhelmed by the sheer majesty of Jesus, Marcus fell to his knees. "Marcus," Jesus said, his voice filled with compassion, "you have been brought here to witness the truth. There is much you must see and understand." The Book of Life. Jesus extended his hand and the landscape around them shifted. Marcus found himself in what appeared to be a vast library, but unlike any he had ever seen. Shelves stretched infinitely in all directions, filled with books radiating light. At the center of the room was a magnificent golden book resting on a pedestal. Its cover shimmered with an otherworldly brilliance, and Marcus felt an indescribable pull toward it. "This," Jesus said, "is the Book of Life." As Marcus approached, the book opened on its own. He saw names written in intricate script, each name glowing with a unique light. Some shone brightly, while others were dim or flickered as if struggling to stay lit. "These are the names of those who have chosen to follow me," Jesus explained, "those whose lives are aligned with God's will." Marcus hesitated. "What about the names that aren't here?" he asked. Jesus' expression grew solemn. "Those who reject my love and truth choose separation from the Creator. Their names do not appear in this book." Visions of humanity's choices. Jesus then showed Marcus a series of visions, each one more profound than the last. He saw people on Earth making choices, some small, some monumental. Every decision seemed to send ripples through time and space, affecting not just the individual but countless others. Marcus was shown the power of love and sacrifice, how acts of kindness illuminated the lives of others like beacons of light. But he also saw the consequences of selfishness, greed, and hatred, how they spread darkness and despair. "Every choice matters," Jesus said. "You have written stories about human nature, but now you see the eternal weight of those choices, the truth about the mark of the beast." The visions shifted. Marcus now saw a world engulfed in chaos. Governments and systems of power controlled every aspect of people's lives. Technology, once a tool of progress, became a means of enslavement. People were marked, on their foreheads or hands, with a symbol that dictated their allegiance to a dark power. "This is the mark of the beast," Jesus said, his voice firm. "It is not merely a symbol, it is a choice. Those who accept it turn away from God and align themselves with forces of deception. Marcus watched in horror as people who took the mark became ensnared in a system of control, unable to break free. Those who resisted faced persecution, but were filled with an inner light that sustained them. The mark is not just about survival, Jesus explained. It is a test of faith. In the end, all must choose whom they will serve. The fate of souls. Jesus then showed Marcus the fate of souls after death. He saw the radiant beauty of heaven, a place of indescribable joy, peace, and unity with God. But he also glimpsed the despair of separation from God, a void of darkness and regret where souls who rejected him lingered. Marcus felt the weight of humanity's plight. He realized that his own skepticism and refusal to seek the truth had blinded him to the reality of eternity. "It is not my will that any should perish," Jesus said, his voice heavy with sorrow. "But I have given humanity free will. Each soul must choose its destiny." A mission to write. As the visions ended, Marcus found himself back in the library standing before the Book of Life. Jesus placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "Marcus, your time is not yet over. You have been given this experience for a purpose. Return to your world and share what you have seen. Use the gift I have given you to tell others of the truth, so they may turn to me before it is too late." Marcus felt a surge of urgency. "But what if they don't believe me?" he asked. Jesus smiled gently. "Speak the truth, and leave the rest to me. My sheep will hear my voice." The return. Marcus woke in a hospital room, gasping for air. Doctors and nurses rushed to his side, astonished at his recovery. He had been clinically dead for several minutes, yet here he was, alive and alert. Though his body was weak, his mind was clear. Marcus knew he had been given a second chance, not just to live, but to fulfill a divine mission. A new purpose. In the months that followed, Marcus began writing again, but his work was no longer fiction. He chronicled his near-death experience in vivid detail, sharing the revelations he had received about the Book of Life, the mark of the beast, and the eternal consequences of human choices. His story spread rapidly, reaching millions of people around the world. Some dismissed it as a hallucination, but many were moved to examine their own lives and seek a deeper connection with God. Marcus also became a sought-after speaker, using his platform to warn others about the spiritual battle unfolding in the world and the urgency of aligning with God's will. Conclusion. Marcus Hale's encounter with Jesus and the Book of Life transformed him from a skeptic into a messenger of truth. His story became a wake-up call, urging humanity to recognize the eternal significance of their choices and to seek the love and redemption offered by Christ. Through his words, Marcus reminded the world that the greatest story ever written is not found in books but in the hearts of those who choose to follow the author of life. Lena Matthews was a virtuoso violinist, celebrated across the world for her unparalleled talent and emotive performances. At 36, she had already performed on the most prestigious stages, from Carnegie Hall to the Sydney Opera House. Critics called her music transformative, capable of moving audiences to tears. Despite her acclaim, Lena carried a heavy weight inside, an unshakable emptiness that no applause or ovation could fill. Raised in a modest household in rural Vermont, Lena discovered her love for music at the age of 5 when her grandmother gifted her an old violin. She practiced tirelessly, finding solace in the melodies she created. By the time she was 10, it was clear she was a prodigy. Scholarships and opportunities followed, propelling her into the world of professional music. Yet, even as she ascended to the heights of her career, Lena felt disconnected from a deeper purpose. She couldn't articulate it, but something was missing, like a melody with an unresolved note. The fateful performance. On a crisp autumn evening, Lena was set to perform a solo concert at the Royal Albert Hall in London. The hall was packed with eager fans and the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. The programme featured some of her favourites: pieces by Bach, Tchaikovsky, and an original composition she had spent months perfecting. The moment she stepped on stage, the audience erupted in applause, but Lena barely noticed. Her mind was elsewhere, lost in a haze of doubt and fatigue. As she began to play, her fingers moved effortlessly over the strings, producing a hauntingly beautiful sound. The audience was enraptured, but Lena felt a strange detachment. Halfway through the performance, as she leaned into a particularly demanding passage, a sharp pain shot through her head. The room began to spin, and her vision blurred. She stumbled, her bow slipping from the strings, and collapsed to the stage floor. Panic rippled through the audience. Paramedics rushed to her side, and the world faded into darkness. The realm of sound. When Lena awoke, she was no longer in the concert hall. She found herself in an infinite, star-filled expanse, a place that defied logic and description. The space was neither cold nor empty. It pulsed with life, color, and, most notably, music. A symphony surrounded her, unlike anything she had ever heard. The notes weren't just sounds, they were tangible, weaving through the air like streams of light. Each melody seemed to tell a story, expressing emotions and truths that words could never capture. Lena looked down and saw that she still held her violin, but it shimmered with an otherworldly glow. She lifted it instinctively, and as she drew the bow across the strings, the instrument seemed to play itself, harmonizing perfectly with the surrounding symphony. The music flowed through her, filling her with a sense of purpose and belonging she had never known. The celestial choir. As Lena played, she became aware of luminous beings emerging from the starry expanse. They were radiant, translucent forms, neither male nor female, and they emanated a warmth that put her at ease. These beings formed a celestial choir, singing in harmony with her violin. Their voices carried no words, only pure emotion, joy, love, sorrow, and wonder, all blending seamlessly into the cosmic melody. One of the beings stepped forward, its light intensifying. Though it had no face, Lena felt its gaze pierce her soul. The being's presence was comforting yet awe-inspiring, like standing in the presence of something both infinite and deeply personal. "Welcome, Lena," the being said, though its voice was not heard but felt. "You have entered the realm of the cosmic song, the foundation of all existence." Lena lowered her violin, overwhelmed. "What is this place?" she asked. "This is the song of the universe," the being replied. "It is the essence of creation, the harmony that binds all things. Every life, every star, every moment contributes its note to the eternal symphony." The melody of existence. The being extended its hand, and Lena felt herself lifted into a whirlwind of sound and light. She was shown visions that spanned the cosmos, galaxies spiraling in perfect rhythm, planets singing their unique tunes, and countless souls, each adding their voice to the grand composition. She saw her own life laid out before her, not as a linear sequence but as a melody, each choice, each triumph, and each sorrow represented by a note in her personal song. "Your music has always been part of the cosmic symphony," the being said. "Every note you have played has touched lives in ways you cannot comprehend. But your song is incomplete because you have not yet embraced the truth of your connection to all things." Tears streamed down Lena's face as she realized the source of her emptiness. She had been playing for accolades, for perfection, for recognition, but not for the greater harmony of existence. She had been so focused on her individual performance that she had forgotten she was part of something infinitely larger. A new understanding. The being guided Lena to a sphere of light that pulsed with a deep, resonant tone. "This is the heart of the song," it explained. "Touch it, and you will understand." Hesitant but curious, Lena reached out. The moment her fingers brushed the sphere, her consciousness expanded. She felt the pain of a mother grieving her lost child, the joy of a couple's first kiss, the struggle of a worker toiling for their dreams. She experienced every emotion, every life, every connection, all at once. It was overwhelming, yet it filled her with a profound peace. She realized that her music was not just hers. It was a reflection of the collective human experience. Her violin had always been a vessel for the emotions of those who listened, a bridge between individual souls and the universal harmony. The return. The celestial beings told Lena it was not yet her time to stay in the realm of the cosmic song. "You must return to the physical world," they said. "Share what you have learned. Help others hear the music that connects us all." Lena felt a tug, as though an unseen force was pulling her away. She clutched her violin, desperate to stay, but the beings assured her she would carry the song with her. With a final resonant note, the starry expanse dissolved, and Lena awoke to the beeping of hospital monitors. A new mission. Lena's recovery was slow, but her spirit was unshaken. She no longer felt the emptiness that had haunted her for years. Instead, she was filled with a sense of purpose. Her near-death experience had transformed her understanding of music and life itself. She retired from the concert circuit and began composing pieces inspired by the song of the universe. These compositions were unlike anything she had created before, blending classical techniques with ethereal, otherworldly harmonies. Audiences described her new music as healing, as though it reached into their souls and brought them peace. Lena also took to teaching, sharing her insights with young musicians. She encouraged them to look beyond technical mastery and to play from a place of connection and authenticity. "Your music is your voice in the cosmic symphony," she would tell them. "Play not just to be heard, but to harmonize with the world around you." Conclusion. Lena Matthews' encounter with the song of the universe reshaped her life and her art. She came to understand that music, like life, is not about individual achievement, but about contributing to a greater harmony. Through her compositions and teachings, she helped others find their place in the universal melody, reminding them that each of us is a note in an eternal symphony. Her story became a beacon of hope and inspiration, a testament to the power of connection and the beauty of existence. And though her music was born from the realm of the infinite, its message was simple. We are all part of the same song, and it is closer than we think.